Okay, Kelly, I'm just going to grab part of the trail.
Okay.
Thanks. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's video. Well, I have a new video for you today, a really different one. I am in Mesa, Arizona, and I'm here with my very great girlfriend, Kathleen, and she is taking me on a hike today, or a walk, and we are going to be walking for about just over an hour, and I'm going to vlog this, so I'm not going to be recording the whole walk, but I will be picking up hopefully some interesting sights for you to view. And with that, I'll just let you know it is the 25th of March today. It's Friday, and it's just after 6 o'clock in the morning, and currently it's about 13, and then it's supposed to be getting up to about 34 today. So that's one big reason why we're heading out super early in the morning. So with that, we're going to get started. And I'm not sure if the camera's going to pick this up, but up in the sky there you can see the moon, and you can see the sunrise just starting, but I'm going to get hopefully a better shot. Okay, I'll see you guys later. I love the pinky, orangey sky. Yeah, so it's 16. Look at now, it's 18. So it is 26th. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's video. It is Saturday, the 26th of March. It's about 7:30 in the morning, and we're back in the park, Usry Park. And I thought I would take you along for a little longer walk today. What you see straight ahead is Superstition Mountain, and then that's Pass Mountain. That's facing east, of course, because that's where the sun is rising. And we're now walking northbound. And that's Kathleen walking ahead. And I may have mentioned this to you in previous videos. When I used to live in Calgary over 30 years ago, Kathleen was my roommate. And we used to walk to and from work. So it was about an hour walk each way. And we used to walk down a very quiet residential street all the way down into Princess Island Park, take some massive steps down, and then into the park and cross the Peace Bridge. I don't think it was called the Peace Bridge back then, but anyway, and then to work, which was just a few blocks away from the big Princess Island Park. And then we would come home the exact same way. But before we would start our walk, on our walk to work in the mornings, we used to each work out. So Kathleen used to leave half an hour before me to get to the office. And so she would work out first for about half an hour. And then when she was done, then I would work out for half an hour. And back then too, I had a full-time job, but I also had like I guess you could call it a part-time job, although I didn't get paid. But I used to teach a lunchtime aerobics class twice a week on top of the walking to and from work. But you know, you have that kind of energy when you're 20-something. And anyhow, so we had this whole very rigid routine. She would get up, she would work out, and she would shower, then I would get up, I'd work out, then I would shower, and she would leave, walk to work, then I would leave, walk to work. So we did this 5 days a week. And we just had this really great routine. So I guess the point of telling you this is it makes sense that I would be walking with her, 35 years later, that we're still walkers, and we're out and continuing to do it for as long as we can. Anyhow, so Kathleen is down here a few months every year, and so she knows this park space intimately. And yesterday we came out, we did, I think, we were out for a good hour and a half walk. Today's going to be maybe just a little bit more than that. And the reason why we're out so early is because it gets seriously hot here. Seriously hot. So I'm wearing, my running shorts and my runners, and I am wearing a very lightweight jacket. But yesterday I found I had to take that jacket off halfway through the walk because, it was getting really hot. But yesterday I think it got up to 34, but not during our walk, of course. That kicked in the afternoon. But the time we were done our walk yesterday, it was, it was hot. So we should be done about 8:30 Phoenix time. And Kathleen pointed out this beautiful, colorful, flowering shrub. Isn't that just exquisite? When you see all this desert, and you do see the green. Now, it does get greener, but it is spring, so just like in Canada, things start to brighten up more in the spring, summer. So, although they don't really have a winter here, but you kind of get the drift. Things are starting to bloom here as well. But, yeah, so I was saying it gets really seriously hot here. So, if you want to get a good walk in and still be comfortable walking, it's always good to get out early, but you guys probably know that. So we have seen, between yesterday and today, we probably saw about 5 cyclists. And this morning I saw a runner. Oh no, we saw a runner yesterday too, actually. But it is a Saturday, so we noticed more cars behind us when we came into the park. And that's because, the locals know if they want to get some running or walking or cycling in, they got to do it early. If they really want to, get a good cardio in, got to do it early when it's not too hot. So this here is, you can see it's little, but you can see that it's pretty loose, the gravel there. And there's like they get flash floods here. So, the water makes their way through in these waterways. And it can be very dangerous to be caught in a flash flood in the desert, because everything comes off the mountain. That's past mountain right there. Everything comes off the mountain, right? Because the mountain doesn't absorb any water. So not only is the water, coming down here on the land, but then that whole area that the mountain takes up is not being absorbed. The water's not being absorbed, so it's coming here. And it's interesting because we just passed some levees. I should have showed you, but how they build up so that the homes don't get hit with these flash floods that occur, and they can get really major flash floods here. Now the camera, I don't know if you can see right below the sun, that's Superstition Mountain again. So you can see our trail. It is so nice here. It's very serene. You don't really hear much of the like the city noise, the town noise. We're just in the city of Mesa, Arizona. Yeah, I don't hear much. I don't really hear, like, I'm listening for the hum of the freeway. I'm not hearing that, but again, it's Saturday, so I wouldn't necessarily expect to hear that, but I do hear some background noise, like city noise, but it's very, very, you can tell very in the distance. I don't think the audio on this camera would pick up that soundtrack. Now I'm starting to get hot, and that's telling because we're probably halfway through. We've been walking for an hour, so we're probably around halfway through our walk. And this is around the same time that I had to shed a layer when we were walking yesterday. So I am going to conclude today's video. We are going to Scottsdale, I think today or tomorrow. And if there's good opportunity to show you a bit of what's there, then I would be happy to record and show you. Okay, folks, thanks very much for joining me in Mesa, Arizona, Usery Park. This is Booba Girl Walking, signing off. These pieces came from China, and Frank Lloyd Wright acquired these pieces at a significant discount because they were broken. They were quite shattered, actually. So he got his apprentices to put back all the pieces. But clearly you can see not everything is there because there was a lot of breakage. This is another Chihuly piece. Quite magnificent. I think they said this was called the Citron. I could be wrong. I don't have any information with me, so I'm not going to make a lot of reference other than just pointing out some of his work. Dale Chihuly. Probably pronounced that wrong, but it's quite magnificent. It is smoking hot out here, folks. I think it's 38. Here is another Chihuly piece.
Yes. The first thing I'll highlight is our fire-breathing dragon. This arrived the year that Wright passed away.
This is the actual drawing of the property that we're on. Of the this is called the Talisman West, right?
That's probably a photograph. That's not an original. That'll be like a...
And this is the like from an aerial view.
Yeah. Isn't that cool? These photos.
Yeah, Taliesin in the desert. There you go. Really remarkable. And I'm going to point out photos of Frank Lloyd Wright. And we just heard that he's really a rather small man. And so that's him. That's Frank Lloyd Wright. And look at the heels on his shoes. The tour guide told us that those are like 4-inch heels. So this is the building, the structure starting here. Again, more of the structure. More of the structure. Let me start here. Yep. Thank you.
the fire amber herons.
Hopefully you guys could pick that up. Okay.
I think it would be in our benefit that I did not play it. I could maybe try the Tibetan horn, but probably not the piano. I'm learning. I'll get there. Now, with that, as we come into space, there's a few things I want to highlight. Firstly, is the view. Because this was Wright's main leisure space, this is where his apprentices would gather at the end of the day. If you are following the purpose of this room, that means that you are seated. And if you're following the purpose, Wright's going to reward you. So that's why at the seating level, you get the best view out. However, if you are standing, you're actively going against its intention and are punished, especially if you're my height. Which is why all you see is beam. In fact, my favorite Wright quote at the boom. Absolutely. The fire pool room there is actually my favorite room in the site. Which is why it's a good opportunity, you guys, to see it. This is a great room.
Right there.
Yes. Not Yvonne. So basically, Wright would constantly have guests and friends here. One of them, Helen Booth.
Oh yeah,
No,
suck
a
in.
politician and an author.
Sit.
She
I'll
was a
try
close
to
friend
do
of Wright. Inspired by his use of natural materials, went out into the desert and gathered natural materials like these. So she made these two mosaics out of. Wright and glass has always had an interesting relationship. My favorite example is probably what he did to those windows over there. Because if you look closely, you will notice that there were holes in the windows and the vases stick through. See, Wright never wanted glass in this space. He wanted it to be exactly where they are. I placed them, which means they're integral to this site. So they should remain there forever. However, the apprentices still need to install the glass, so the only solution that worked was to cut a hole in the glass, so they weren't just fighting against the nature of the site, they were fighting against the very nature of Wright himself. Wright was very precise about these things. In fact, if you ever had Wright as a visitor in one of the homes he created, he would often wake up in the middle of the night and move furniture to where it was original, because that was how he designed it. He actually made large furniture specifically so it was impossible to take out of the spaces. He would build it around the furniture. So a lot of different ideas to make sure you stuck with his intention. To be honest, the first tour we ever had, I actually had a woman on my tour walk up and flick the glass pieces. So as long as you don't do that, I'm fine. No, Larry, it's security. Okay, we have another one of these vignettes, but we're going to head to the crowd. We're doing the backwards tour. I love it. This kind of stuff always happens. Like last week, it hailed on my tour. That's baffling.
It's making me strong.
Maybe you're getting some kind of signals from cosmos.
I guess so. I mean, I can handle it. I'm good on my improv. Okay, this is our next spot. This point right here. This point marks one of Wright's favorite views ever. He actually would come to this spot right here to watch the sun set on that horizon. He actually had a nickname for the point here that points at the sunset. This point is called the prow. You guys know what a prow is? It's the front of a boat. If you've seen a pirate ship, there might be a mermaid swimming up the front. Or if you see Titanic, I think I'm a great Leonardo DiCaprio. King of the world. He's kind of typical. But when the sun would set, Wright would watch this view transform.
This is still the property of Frank Lloyd Wright, and you can see this stone structure, stone and cement. But look at this cacti. Just decided to grow out there. It was not placed here. It just found its way and is growing out of the stone. Isn't that amazing? So cool. And here is another Dale Chihuly piece. Chihuly, not Chihuly. So these Dale Chihuly pieces, apparently this is the first year these installations have been placed here on the grounds of this Frank Lloyd Wright Phoenix estate called the Talisman.
That is the cabaret theater, the final stop on this tour. So that will be where we head in just a moment. The other group is still. You want to hit it? Really do not. Really good pass. You do it. You do it. There you go. Now that's super against the wall. Okay, there we go. We're all going to split.
Look at this beautiful bougainvillea shrub or tree, probably a shrub, right? Isn't it stunning? So this is the Frank Lloyd Wright, one of his many creations. I have certainly seen some of the works on the outside. There was no access to the interior of the home, but we walked around it. And here's a little bit of a write-up on the Chihuly, get it right, girl. The Chihuly in the desert, art, architecture, nature. So you can see when it came in and when it's leaving. And like I mentioned earlier, this is the first art installation that Dale Chihuly presented here. So beautiful. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope it didn't, I'm trying to edit this will be an experience. Thank you very much for joining me. This is Boomer Girl Walking, signing off.